Namaste, and welcome to the Buddhism Guide podcast by Yeshe Rabgye. If you'd like more of my podcasts, blogs, videos, or guided meditation practices, visit my website, yesherabgye.com. And if you'd like to support my work, go to patreon.com/Buddhism Guide. I hope you enjoy this episode. This episode is called Lust for Life. Recently, I've been asked on several occasions to do a podcast on lust. When I delve a bit further, it seems people have three main ideas of what lust is. Firstly, lust is about wanting sex with another person. Secondly, it's bad. And thirdly, it's the opposite of love. All of these assumptions, I feel, are incorrect. So, let's start by looking at these 3 points. Lust is a strong, passionate desire for something, and not only sex, but also food and drink, money, fame, power, knowledge, and so on. It's a biological impulse without which none of us would be here today. Our purpose in life is to survive. That is how our brains are wired. So, seeing lust as something bad is not helpful. I believe what is important is how you act upon your lust. You can act in an appropriate or inappropriate way. Of course, this is a judgment call. But if you're about to harm someone because of lust, that for me is inappropriate. I believe lust is not the opposite to love. But then, how can we tell them apart? I see lust as hasty and secretive, whereas love is patient and restrained. Lust is all about taking, and love is all about sharing. Now, there is nothing wrong with the sexual desire as such. The problems start when it turns from servant into master, and it starts to consume our every thought. Lust is a natural emotion most people will eventually experience. However, it's important to be careful of how you act on it. If lust is not expressed healthily or respectfully, it could lead to abuse or other issues. Remember, you can love your pets, and that is love with no lust. You can see a beautiful person and want to have sex with them. That is lust, but no love. You can love your partner and want to have sex with him or her. That is love and lust together. So, we can't say that lust is the opposite to love. What to do if we're becoming overpowered by lust? Buddha stated this: just as rain comes through the roof of a badly thatched house, so sensual desire invades an undeveloped mind. So lust, says the Buddha, can be controlled or eliminated by attaining a higher level of consciousness. How can we achieve that? I would say one of the best ways is through meditation. By trying to control your lust, you're putting it outside of yourself. You're seeing lust and yourself as two separate entities. That way of looking at things is going to set up a duality. On one side is lust, which we're probably labeling in our mind as bad, and on the other side is you, which you'll probably label in your mind as good. That dualistic way of thinking is going to lead you getting attached to both of these concepts. Lust is bad and you are good. However, if you choose to acknowledge and accept the sensations you're describing as lust, that duality will disappear. So I suggest you sit in meditation and focus on your breath until you're calm and relaxed. Then recall the last time you had lustful thoughts. Sit with those thoughts for a moment without trying to judge or change them in any way. Now, slowly scan down your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. When you feel sensations that you describe as lust, acknowledge and accept them. This can be challenging, but is achievable with practice. Acknowledge the feeling by labeling it lust, and accept that at the moment there is lust. Don't identify with your lust by saying, I am feeling lust. This will make it difficult to let that feeling go. Just say to yourself, at the moment there is lust. This will help you accept the feeling without identifying with it, judging it, or judging yourself. Once you've done this, watch what happens to the thoughts or feelings. They will slowly disappear and start to relinquish its power. When you finish, gently turn your focus back to your breath for a few minutes before you go back to your regular activities. When you acknowledge and accept the aspect of yourself that you conceive of as lust, you'll integrate you and the lust into one and then dissolve that duality. You will start to see lust as a fruitless desire that only leads to mental and emotional suffering. Other things you can try are being more mindful of your thoughts. This can help you stop getting carried away by sexual desires. The more we spend in the present moment, being aware of our thoughts, feelings, body sensations, and the immediate environment, the more likely we are to catch our lustful thoughts. It is when our minds are being driven by the subconscious mind that we tend to miss lust arising within us. So the more you are in your conscious mind, the more you're aware of what is happening, the easier it is to catch that thought of lust as they arrive. So, using mindfulness practices to keep bringing yourself back to the here and now is going to help you with those lustful thoughts. Avoiding temptations can help you manage your lustful desires. For instance, if you're tempted to look at porn whenever you're on your computer, you can download an app or a browser extension to block the porn websites. If you're struggling with sexual feelings for a particular person, try to limit how much time you spend with them. If you understand your desires, it will make it easier to control them. Whenever you experience feelings of lust, reflect on the circumstances. Do you get more unwanted sexual thoughts when you're stressed or bored? What about when you're around certain types of people or in a specific place, such as bars or nightclubs? I suggest you write down a list of things that seem to trigger those unwanted thoughts and feelings, and think of some ideas of how to deal with those triggers. Set an intention to find new coping methods and form healthier habits. Don't try to push down unwanted thoughts and feelings, because this doesn't work. This can be really frustrating, but you'll feel so much better if you acknowledge your thoughts instead of fighting them. Don't try to ignore them or try to force them out of your mind. Just notice them and let them sit there without judgment. Your mind will eventually wander to something else. This doesn't mean that your unwanted sexual thoughts and feelings will go away forever. Just practice being more accepting of the thoughts when they come. Remember, nobody can completely control their thoughts and feelings. Remind yourself that what's going on in your brain and body isn't your fault and doesn't make you a bad person, even if it feels unhelpful and inappropriate. The important thing is how you act on those thoughts. We have to realize that lust is a powerful force and there are repercussions to pushing it down or inhibiting yourself. Don't use any method that involves self criticism, self judgment, self harm, hatred, and so on. This is only going to make the problem worse. It's completely normal to experience lust or sexual desire. It's all part and parcel of being a human being. However, if you just can't shake these uncomfortable thoughts and feelings, don't worry. Try the suggestions I've made here and be patient with yourself. Accept and acknowledge that you have these feelings and just allow them to go and let go of any dualistic thinking. The more that you do these practices, the more that you're going to be able to deal with whatever lustful thoughts you have. This is the end of this episode, but if you'd like to listen to more of my podcasts, go to my website, yesherabgye.com. So thank you so much for listening. And remember, the only person we can ever really know is ourselves. Bye for now.